All right, so we should be recording now. And I do have to apologize ahead of time. I live near the airport and I'm outside, so you're going to hear lots of birds and possibly some airplanes and stuff. Just bear with me and let me know if you can't hear me. And also my audio tends to make me sound like an alien or a robot sometimes. Let me know if you can't hear me and I will try to repeat what I just said. So I don't know if, actually I'm going to leave it up to you, Amr and Graham, to take attendance for your class, and I'll just take attendance for the bridge class later. We don't have to worry about that right now. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the presentation. All right, so welcome to the Upward Bound Summer Learning Institute. And before we begin, I really just want to say a big congratulations to the Bridge students for graduating, because that is a huge task in the year 2020. I know some of you guys attended the graduation celebration that we had. And so you got to hear this once before, but again, congratulations. It was a huge feat to graduate this time of our lives, actually, because I don't think that this is an annual thing for us. But welcome to the orientation. It's probably a good idea to get to know how the program works, but before we get started, I want to read In La Ketch, which kind of encompasses sort of how we approach the program, how we are one with one another, how we can see ourselves in each other. We just have to, brush away the smoke in front of the mirror. It's a lot deeper than that in terms of what the poem actually means, but that's how we're going to be talking about it with Upward Bound. And you'll notice we'll talk about this poem a lot. If you're in my class, we'll hear this poem every single day. So this is In La Ketch. Tú eres mi otro yo, you are my other me. Si te hago daño a ti, if I do harm to you, me hago daño a mí mismo, I do harm to myself. Si te amo y respeto, if I love and respect you, me amo y respeto yo, I love and respect myself. So just a quick reminder of our program theme. The people united will never be defeated. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. I'm just going to read it out to you guys. You will talk about this theme all day today and probably throughout the program. Our program has also been influenced by our essential question, which is how can overcoming challenges and failures build resilience in students and lead to opportunities in education? And so if you can see, the pandemic has had a different sort of effect on us. And so these sort of things are very relevant to think about right now for all of us. But I really want to explain how the UBSLI and Bridge programs are going to work this year. And I want to go over what we're going to talk about today. I think I have a slide for introductions, but I don't know if I'm seeing it on here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and pause, and I think it would be a good idea for the staff and instructors to introduce themselves. And please, staff members, keep an eye on the waiting room and see if there's anybody else coming, because I know Elizabeth wasn't there when I checked it last. So if you haven't met me, and some of you may not have met me yet since you are new students, there's a helicopter, I apologize for that. My name is Riva Villa. I am the director of the Upward Bound Shelton program, and I'm the one who kind of works behind the scenes to make sure that everything happens, and I'm the one who's going to be getting you guys your tuition waivers if you decide to go to Evergreen your freshman year of college. So I'll go ahead and take a step back. Why don't we have instructors introduce themselves first, and then we'll move on to success coaches. I will also teach the bridge class, sorry. So any one of the instructors wants to jump in.
Hi, my name is Amr Hassan. I'm going to be teaching the humanities portion of the core classes, and I go by he, him pronouns. And it's worth saying at Evergreen, it's pretty important to get into the habit of beginning introductions with preferred pronouns.
All right, thank you, Amr. Anybody else?
And I'm going to be co-teaching with Amr. I'm Graham Clagg, he, him pronouns, and I am the STEM instructor. So I'm actually also a recent, well, somewhat graduate of the Evergreen State College in the Master of Environmental Studies program, so, though I'm still doing my research because I'm doing botanical restoration research that has to occur during the summer. So look forward to sharing more with that with you guys.
As most of you know, I am Elizabeth. I am the educational advisor for Upward Bound Shelton during the school year. And this summer, I'm really excited to be your instructor for past, present, and future preparing for college.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the success coaches. Thank you, instructors. We're missing a success coach.
I just texted him.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, with that, hi everyone. If you don't know me, my name is Lonnie. I'll be one of your success coaches this year. This is also my second year as a success coach. So I'm really excited.
Hi everyone, my name is Priscilla, and this year I get to be a success coach, so I'm super excited because that's the first time. But I hope to have a good time this summer online, keeping each other busy, and because I've been lonely this whole time, so this is really good for me.
Hi everyone, my name is Tabitha. I'll be a success coach this year. This is my first year and I'm really excited to be here, and yeah, just like everyone said, let's make it fun, be here for each other. I'm here for whatever you need and we'll get through it and have a good time.
Hola, hola. My name is Sebastian. Most of you guys know me very well. I'll be helping out with the Spanish speaker community, as well as with all of you guys interested in learning a little bit about what we'll be reading with Riva. She will be explaining this a little bit later. But yeah, here to help you all, and feel free to reach out and ask any questions.
Awesome. Thank you, Sebastian. And just to clarify, he's working with the Bridge program with me, which is why we're talking about reading. We will be reading something very different than the younger kids. And we're missing a success coach, and that's Philip Jumpy. I believe some of you guys have met him before. He was on the soccer team when he was a student at Evergreen. He has since graduated. He's done a lot of anti-genocide work out in Rwanda, and I'm sure he's more than excited to tell you guys all about that. He's got a lot of really interesting stories, actually. I would ask him. So today we're going to talk about, see if I can get my computer to work. I don't think I clicked on it. There we go. We did introductions. We're going to talk about schedules, the different schedules between UBSLI and Bridge. We're going to talk about stipends. I'm sure you're all curious on how stipends are going to work this year, and they're tied to absolutely everything that you're going to do. We're going to talk about supplies and program expectations. So how are we going to, how are we expected to behave and carry ourselves and participate in an online summer program? And then, of course, if you have any questions, I'll answer those. So I think this is the slide I had for introducing the success coaches. I'm going to go ahead and go over the Bridge schedule first, since it's much faster to talk about that. And what I will actually need, I don't think there are a ton of Bridge students here right now, but for all of the Bridge students who are here, can we get your current email address so that we can share this schedule with you that's on the screen now. These schedules, there's a separate one for Bridge and a separate one for UBSLI. And if you get access to that, that means that if this Zoom invitation changes at any point, it'll be the current one that's on this document. So we'll make sure that the correct Zoom address will be on here. So for the Bridge students, this is just the first day schedule. We're going to spend from 11 to 11:30 the entire program working together to talk about expectations for the whole program. Then the Bridge students will leave and we'll go to a different Zoom meeting, which is the ideas right here, from 11:30 to 12:30 for my class. Then 12:30 to 1:30 is lunch. 1:30 to 2:30, we have a study group available if you would like to get a head start on the first assignment, which you will receive today. And then, of course, you have a big gap until the workshop time with the success coaches in the evening, and that's just for today. The study group is also optional for today. You do not have to join that. But here is the regular program schedule, which I should probably like put on one document. Okay, so From 11 to 12:30 on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we will have class. So we'll have hour and a half of class. It's the real class is on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then we have work study on Fridays. I will talk about the importance of work study, but it's tied to a large portion of the stipend, and so it's required that all students participate actively in work study this summer, as every summer. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, you have workshops with different groups at Evergreen that are supposed to give you skills to be successful at any college that you go to. Some of those skills include like transferring and just being successful, how to read quickly when you have a lot to read, how to take notes, stuff like that. And of course, we're going to do a lot of self-care this summer, and I'll talk about that later. We also will be offering Bridge Study Group from 11:30 to 12:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays if you would like to work at that time, if your work schedule allows you to. We will also offer that from 6 until 8:30 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays too, if those times do not work for you. And then the student success workshops will have all students come together. That will be the only time you will have the entire program together, will be during the student success workshops on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Now let's talk about the regular UBSLI schedule for this summer. The first day schedule I sent out to a bunch of people, and I also imagine that you saw it on our Instagram. I saw it this morning when I saw that Elizabeth had posted on Facebook. But we have this introduction, and that you guys will stay in this same Zoom meeting, and we'll automatically transfer over to Amr and Graham's interdisciplinary core class, where you will receive instruction in both STEM and humanities. Then you'll have lunch at 12:30 to 1:30. Elizabeth's college prep class, where you'll build your college application portfolio and your portfolio for graduation, will be from 1:30 to 2:30 today. And that should be at the same Zoom address. Yeah, as you can see here, the address is the same. So just come back to the exact same room that you're in now. Then from 2:30 to 5:30, you have independent learning, which is actually where you'll have a break in instruction. There's an airplane, so please let me know if you don't hear me. But we give you a huge chunk in the afternoon because part of what you're going to be doing for the core class will be field work. And so Graham will work with you and let you know what you need to gather out in the field. But we also want to give you a break. Zoom is very, very hard to stay on all day, every day, even for just a few hours. It's really difficult to return to this. So we want to make sure that you guys take care of yourselves, that you guys take breaks, that you go hang out with family and other people that you've already been exposed to, probably socially distanced from other people. But we want to make sure you can take care of yourself. From 5:30 to 6:30 today, you will have your work study component, and that will be run entirely by the success coaches. And from 6:30 to 7:30, you have dinner. We're going to give you an hour break for that. And then 7:30 to 8:30, you will have your first student success coach workshop. Obviously, that's going to be led by the student success coaches, and that's where you'll be joined by the Bridge students. A regular day, how the program's going to regularly function is 11 a.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You have class with Amr and Graham. This is your core class. On Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 to 12, you have leadership with George Castro. And if you guys were here last year, you probably remember George from the leadership class. He's teaching it again this year, except online. And they all have Canvas for you guys to submit your assignments. You'll get those accounts as soon as we hear back from Evergreen on when those are ready. And then you're going to take a lunch break on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That's from 12:30 to 1:30, but on Tuesdays and Thursdays, that's from noon to 1:30. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays after that, you have college prep with Elizabeth, where you're going to be building those portfolios that I talked about. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you have independent learning during that time where you can do any field work you have. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, your work study will start at 5:30 p.m. and go until 6:30. And actually part of that's financial literacy. Sorry, it's only Mondays and Fridays that you have work study. Financial literacy will be on Wednesday. You will have homework support from 5 until 6:30 available. And I'm actually going to require that you guys attend 15 minutes of homework support on Tuesdays and Thursdays, just so that you can check in with your success coaches and let them know how far you've gotten on your assignments. From 6:30 to 7:30, everybody has dinner, and then from 7:30 to 8:30, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you will have success coach workshops where the entire program will come together. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you will have virtual college tours, and you will have reading circles, which will be facilitated by success coaches. Your reading circles are tied to the college prep class, and I'm assuming Elizabeth will talk to you more about that when her class starts today. Just to pause for a second, if you have any questions, I'm trying to get through this fast because I got about 10 minutes left to talk to you guys, maybe 15 since we were 5 minutes late. Please type any questions that you have into the chat, and some of the success coaches can monitor that and let me know what some of those questions are. And if you share your current email addresses with the success coaches, I will share this presentation with them later, and I will make sure that they share it with you so that you can access these links. I will additionally make sure that those documents are shared with you, and everything is going to be recorded, and my plan is to upload videos of each class session and each workshop session, including this orientation session, onto our YouTube channel. So hopefully you'll be able to access that as well.
We have one question from Xavier or Gwen.
What is your question?
What is Bridge?
Oh, so a bridge program is specifically for students who have recently graduated from high school. That's a very good question. I take for granted that people know what that is. So occasionally our program, if the cohort is large enough, will hold a summer program specifically for students who have recently graduated before they go off to college, so they can practice the rigor of their freshman year of college the summer before college actually starts. So these students are going to get used to what's going to be expected of them when they go off to college in the fall. Thank you for your question, Xavier. That was something I didn't even think about. So stipends, I'm assuming everybody's wondering how stipends are going to work. Obviously, you can't take your expectation logs around and have signatures applied to them. You can't have success coaches running around and highlighting logs that you're not taking around because we don't have physical logs. We're not going to go physically talk to one another. So we're going to be tracking stipends this a little bit of a different way, although you're going to be pretty much earning them the same way. So stipends are going to be tied to attendance. You will get a stipend based on your attendance at each Zoom session. So not just each day, but every single Zoom session that we're asking students to be at, we need you guys to go in order to get that stipend. And that's going to be tracked by everybody in the program. And this can be taken away if you are not participating actively or if you're disrupting the class. I'm guessing that the people who are willing to do a Zoom summer program are probably not going to be super disruptive anyway, but I thought I'd throw that in there, that that's how the instructors are going to manage their classes. You will also be getting a participation stipend. The way that this is going to work is if you do not participate in work study or you do not actively turn in assignments in work study, not only will you not get the stipend tied to that work study, but you will also forfeit the participation stipend, which will come to you during the program. So I'm going to give you guys $55 twice during the program just for turning in a registration form. That's your participation stipend for joining the program. And this is something that I'm hoping that you guys can use to help supplement your food budget with your families. So if you find that your families are like a little frustrated that you're there and you're eating all the food when you normally come to our summer program and eat all the greenery food, then this money is going to help you guys buy some food to, you can buy snacks, you can buy whatever you're going to eat for lunch. But this is the way that we thought that we could feed you guys this summer, is by giving you a little bit of a larger stipend and giving you some of that stipend while you're in the program. So keep an eye out for 2 different checks, and it would go to the address that you gave us on your form. If your address on your summer registration form is not correct, please let Priscilla know so that we can update it in the database, because that's where your check's going to go. And if we have to have any supplies delivered to you, that's also where supplies will go. Classwork, every assignment is worth a certain amount of money, and I've asked the instructors to put that on their syllabi. So you should see how much each assignment is worth on the syllabus that you get from each class. And then this is actually going to be a new thing that we're doing. The success coaches each get a weekly amount that they can award you as a bonus. So if you stand out, like you're taking on extra leadership responsibilities, you're participating more actively than every other student, I think you'll probably find that each success coach has something else that they're going to be looking for when awarding those bonuses. But they have the ability to award those based off of what they see as leadership. And if you're not participating actively, you may not have access to some of those bonuses, and that's part of the money that you'll be able to get. Each program is going to get about $300. For the regular program, you can earn up to $290.70. And for the bridge program, you can earn $300.70. The 70 cents has to do with the way that Evergreen is going to contribute to our stipends and the way that I had to break that out. So I know it's a weird number, but 70 cents is better than 0 cents, right? So supplies, all of you should have received some supplies, but you may not know what we want back from you since we had to bring these to you to your home. And it's really easy to assume that deliveries to your home are for us to keep. So I just want to clarify, we need the books back so that we can possibly use them again and with future students. And we need all Chromebooks back. Obviously, we're not just going to give computers to people. So if you checked out a Chromebook through our program, we will need to get that back from you. If you do not have a Chromebook and you need one, maybe you had to give yours back to the high school, then let us know. We have several other Chromebooks that we can check out to students. And any supplies that you don't want, I would really appreciate it if you could return those to the program. So if you have any watercolor left over, or if you don't want your gloves or anything like that, anything that you do not want, please give back to us, just like you guys did with the sock puppets last year and other art supplies that you guys didn't use last year. We really appreciate being able to use supplies again, and so we'll definitely hold on to those. Supplies that are left over that are not books, Chromebooks, or anything that you actually want to give back to us are yours to keep, and I'm hoping that you will actually use those. So we are giving everybody watercolors and little magnifying glasses to look at plants and stuff like that. I'm hoping that you'll continue to use those beyond the program. And be aware that we will probably be delivering more supplies, including masks. We got you guys all masks. We got you guys totes instead of backpacks this year, since backpacks are actually kind of obnoxious when you're just at home. And we are also going to be giving you guys t-shirts, and we'll talk more about that during the workshop time later on today. If there's an issue with the delivery method, or maybe you didn't get some of the supplies that you know other students have, let us know. Also, if you have any issues with accessing the Zoom sessions, let us know about that as well. So this is the last slide, program expectations. Please respect one another and the places we're all coming from. We're all from different places. We're all coming from different places in Shelton, different places in our lives. We're all handling the pandemic differently. Just respect one another and live and let live. Tú eres mi otro yo. Be willing to step out of your comfort zone. Sometimes it's really hard when you've been away from people for a really long time to step out of your comfort zone and do the things that the classes and the workshops are going to require of you. But I have to say that all the times that I've stepped out of my comfort zone has made me more comfortable stepping out of it the next time. So I strongly encourage you guys to take a risk and step out of your comfort zone. At the same time, let us know if it's a little bit too much for you. I absolutely expect people to participate actively. The only way you will get the money and the credit for the class, and the credit's only available to the UBSLI students, not the bridge students, is to participate actively in every session. Complete and submit work on time. That's how you will get the stipend for the assignments, and your instructors will let you know if that's not going to happen. Please let instructors and success coaches know if you can't do that. And please plan ahead for the readings. We are actually going to have you reading a lot more this summer than we have ever had you read during the summertime, but this is only to help you in the future. Some program expectations for Zoom. We expect you to attend every session. If your friends are not here and you know they're in the summer program, reach out to them and you may get a bonus stipend. But we do expect everybody to attend every session. Let us know if you can't ahead of time, and we will make sure to excuse that in our attendance log. Please keep your video on, but your audio muted. And your instructors will go over how you can change your background if you don't want us to see what's in the background of your Zoom meeting. But that's how we can tell if you're actively engaged. Wear appropriate clothing. That sounds a little bit silly, and we really only need it from here up, but I don't want to know what any of your guys' nipples look like, so please make sure they're not on Zoom. Please don't wear anything offensive and something that covers your chest, obviously. And by offensive, I mean anything that has like something racist on it, something sexist on it, stuff that you wouldn't wear to school, don't wear it here. Please make sure that you don't have anything inappropriate in the background. So if you decide to do your Zoom meetings in the garage and your dad has a sexy lady picture with a beer in the background, please face the camera the other direction, because we do not need to be distracted by that as we are in our Zoom meeting. Or you can always turn on the artificial backgrounds, which some of our staff, I believe, even have on right now. You will be using Google, mainly Google Docs, but you will probably be accessing some of these slideshows as well, and you will get evergreen accounts so that you can use Canvas. Please let instructors know if you have any issues due to technical stuff. Canvas is really difficult sometimes to get to cooperate, and Google sometimes won't share things the way that we think it will. And so please let your instructors know, just to be sure everything is taken care of. And then it is a requirement that everybody participate in the end of summer celebration as it is every year. That is nothing new. Do we have any more questions? I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. And if the success coach can monitor the chat for me.
On it.
So Reva, I still haven't gotten a list of emails, and I'm concerned about being able to communicate with the students who aren't here today.
So Priscilla.
I'm working on that right now.
Okay, awesome.
Just give me a chance.
Okay.
We have a new student added. I'm not sure, Reva.
Two.
When?
We don't know about the 2 extra students. So we have 2 additional students who've joined us at the last minute, which happens every year. And just a heads up, students, that actually creates a lot of extra work for us. And also just a heads up, Elizabeth, Priscilla, and I are the permanent employees with the Upward Bound program. And we have had to do a lot of front loading for this. So every waking moment of our day this last week has been spent trying to prepare for this program. And she was out until 9 o'clock last night and the night before delivering supplies to students. So we're gonna have to just troubleshoot without emails and maybe get success coaches who joined classes to gather those from students.
Hey, Reva, we did have a question. Janie mentioned that she won't have access to video for about the next week or so. Will that be an issue?
So that's up to your instructors. They are going to have different requirements, but letting us know ahead of time what your access abilities are is helpful so that we know, oh, if this student doesn't have their video on, that doesn't mean that they're not participating. It just means that they don't have their video on. They don't have the ability to do their video. And actually, if you guys notice Amar's picture, he's got one of those artificial backgrounds on. So he can probably show you how to do that. And I'm assuming Elizabeth will probably show you how to do that as well. Any other questions?
Show you how it looks with it off. Oh.
Yeah, it works pretty well. Any other questions about how the program will work before we break up and the bridge students go to their class?
I'm wondering where the Zoom videos will be available of the recordings for students so that they know where to go.
We will put them on our YouTube channel. And so I'm hoping that after they're uploaded to the YouTube channel, Elizabeth and Priscilla can link them to the Instagram. I actually don't have access to the program Instagram, so it's mainly Elizabeth and Priscilla doing that. And then the Facebook, I'll make sure it goes on the Facebook as well. Let me know if you don't access either of those, and I'll make sure to send it to you directly. All right, any other questions? All right, so I'll go ahead. Oh, is there another?
Amy asked, how do I access the Google Doc with the schedule? And I did have another student asking for this physical copy of the schedule.
Yes, so once we get current emails for that, we will be able to invite you to that document. And so for the time being, just stay in this Zoom room. This is the only one you need to worry about for today until the success coach time at like 7:30 p.m. And by then people should have added you to the document. So hopefully you can just keep an eye out for your email and see if you get an invitation to that. Anything else? All right. So,
before we break, it is the other link we're going to use to meet up later today, yeah? Because I used the wrong one, and that's why I was late.
the same link, you're going to be in the same room all day.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you don't go anywhere. We're going to leave.
If Quinn can please send me his email. Xavier, if you can tell Quinn to send me his email, please. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
And to be clear, Reva, I meant in terms of staff meeting versus class meeting.
We'll go to the same link that we did our training.
Okay. Cool.
And I'm going to transfer host over to you, Amr.
Okay.
And I am going to leave. Lily and Sebastian, we should go to our new, I think you guys are the only ones for the bridge program right now. We should go to our new room, which is on the schedule. Lily, do you have access to that? And Amr, I don't know if I